My brothers and sisters, my dear friends, men and women of every land and every dream, I greet you this evening with warmth, with respect, present, and with faith in the power that lies within the human soul. There is a truth I have carried with me through the darkest days and the brightest mornings of my life. As a truth I learn not in comfort but in struggle, not in ease but in endurance. And that truth is this: everyone can rise above their circumstances and achieve success if they are dedicated to and passionate about what they do. You see, I did not learn this from books or lectures. I learned it from the long road of life itself. Present, I learned it in the faces of men and women who had nothing but gave everything. I landed in the fields of Kunyu, where I headed cattle as a boy. Present, barefoot and unaware that my journey would one day carry me through prison gates and into the halls of leadership. I lent it behind bars on Robbing Island, where even in the depths of despair I saw men rise. Men who had lost their freedom but not their faith, who had nothing left to give but still gave their courage. Present, their hope, their hearts. My friends, life will test you. It will test your patience, your strength, your spirit. Present, it will bring you to your knees and demand that you choose between surrender and perseverance. But I tell you now, present, no circumstance is greater than the power of the human will, the walls that surround you, the chains that bind you, the poverty that limits you. None of these can defeat you. If your heart is dedicated, if your soul burns with passion, if your mind refuses to bow to despair. When I speak of rising above circumstances, I do not speak of avoiding pain. I speak of transforming it, for pain, when met with purpose, becomes fuel. It becomes the fire that forges character, the storm that strengthens the roots of your spirit. I remember the night in that small cold cell when I questioned whether I would ever see my family again. I remember wondering whether the cause for which we had sacrificed so much was even possible. But in those moments I reminded myself that no man's life is measured by comfort but by commitment. It is dedication, not destiny, that defines greatness. Whereas every one of us, regardless of where we are born, holds within us the power to change our own story. Too often, people believe that success is reserved for the fortunate, for those with wealth, privilege, or opportunity. Present, but I have walked among miners who never saw the sun and yet carried light in their eyes. I have spoken to women who raised entire communities with hands cracked by work but hearts filled with love. These people were not rich by the standards of the world, but they were rich in purpose. Present, they rose above what they were given because they refused to accept that their circumstances define their worth. Dedication, my brothers and sisters, is the bridge between dreams and reality. It is what keeps you moving when the path is steep and the night is long. It is what whispers to you when everyone else has gone silent, and passion. Passion is the light that burns in your chest when the world tries to extinguish your flame. It is what makes you wake up one more morning after failure. What makes you speak one more word of kindness after rejection. What makes you take one more step toward freedom, even when your legs tremble. When I was young, I believed that courage meant the absence of fear. But life has taught me that courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to act in spite of it. Passion gives you that courage. Dedication sustains it. Present. These are the tools that will lift you above whatever burden you carry. There was a time when I too doubted my strength. I am not ashamed to say that there were moments I wept in silence, moments when I wanted to give up. But I learned that the difference between those who rise and those who fall is not talent, not luck, but perseverance. It is the decision to stand up one more time after you've fallen. It is the choice to see beyond your pain and focus on your purpose. You see, success is not about the summit, it is about the climb. It is about what you become as you struggle to reach it. The world often celebrates the result, but the true glory lies in the journey. The nights of study when no one is watching, the hours of work when no one is applauding, the tears you shed that no one will ever see. That is where greatness is forged. In silence, in discipline, in persistence. When I finally walked free after 27 years in prison, people called me strong. They said I was unbreakable, but I was not made of stone. I was made of the same flesh and bone as you. What kept me standing was not strength, it was purpose. It was the unwavering belief that what I was fighting for mattered more than what I was suffering. And that, my friends, is the secret to rising above your circumstances, to find something greater than yourself to live for. You may be a student struggling to pay for your education, a worker fighting to feed your family, present, a dreamer surrounded by doubt. Whatever your struggle, remember this: your situation is not your sentence. Your past is not your prison. It is your preparation. Every difficulty you face is shaping you for something greater. Do not despise the struggle. It is your greatest teacher. There are people in this world who will try to define you by what you lack, your background, your color, your failures. But I say to you, you are not defined by what you lack, but by what you give. You are not limited by where you come from, but by where you are willing to go. And you are not held down by the size of your obstacles, but lifted up by the strength of your determination. When I look back at my life, I realized that success was never about titles or power. Success was the quiet decision to keep going. Success was found in forgiveness, in compassion, in the refusal to allow bitterness to poison the soul. Rising above your circumstances means not allowing the darkness around you to make you dark. It means choosing integrity when corruption is easier. It means choosing patience when anger burns within you. It means choosing hope when despair feels justified. Present. Passion and dedication are not gifts reserved for a few. They are choices. You choose them every day. You choose them when you wake up tired but still pursue your dream. Present. You choose them when the world tells you no and you answer, I will find another way. I want you to remember this. Every person you admire, every leader, every artist, present, every innovator, none of them began with certainty. They began with doubt, with failure, with fear. But they also began with fire. The difference between those who succeed and those who surrender is not the absence of hardship. It is the presence of passion. Let your work become your prayer. Let your dedication become your language. Let your passion become the melody of your life. Because when you give your heart to what you do, no obstacle can hold you. Present, the world may not recognize you today, but if you remain faithful to your path, the world will one day be shaped by the echo of your efforts. I have seen men in the darkness of prison cells studying law by candlelight and later walk free to defend justice. Present, I have seen women who could not read or write build schools for their children. I have seen people rise from the ashes of despair and create hope for others. Present, and I tell you, these people are proof that your circumstances are only the beginning of your story, not the end. If you dedicate yourself, if you put your soul into what you do, if you find joy even in the struggle, success will find you not always in riches or fame, but in peace, in purpose, in the quiet knowledge that you gave your best. So my dear friends, I ask you tonight, what are you dedicated to? What makes your heart beat faster? What sets your soul on fire? Whatever it is, pursue it with all your might. Do not let fear steal your passion, and do not let failure break your dedication. Because as long as you are alive, you have the power to rise. And when you rise, rise not only for yourself, rise for those who cannot. Rise for your family, present, for your community, for your nation, for humanity. Because the higher you climb, the more people you can lift. And when enough of us rise together, then we change the shape of the world. In the end, my brothers and sisters, success is not about standing above others. It is about standing true to yourself. It is about living with purpose, loving with passion, and never giving up no matter how heavy the burden or how long the journey. So rise with courage, then rise with faith, rise with love, rise with passion and dedication burning in your heart. For the world is waiting not for perfect people, but for people who refuse to stay down. You have that power within you. Use it, honor it, live it. And when you do, you will discover, as I did, that no chain, no wall, no circumstance can hold down a soul that has chosen to rise. Peace.